What's going on? It's day 2 of OMAD. It's my check-in. I'm down 2.8 pounds and I want to go over some notes that I took yesterday. I'm trying to journal and track things as I go along to give you all some insights on what it's like to go through it and how I manage hunger and all that, how I distract myself more importantly, which will be the main topic of this episode. So yesterday, woke up groggy because of terrible sleep, no physical hunger yet at 8 a.m. So what happened was my first day I had too much to eat, and it was just very like, I mean, at the right before bedtime I had like this Greek yogurt protein fluff with chocolate chips and all that stuff to help satiate me and to help put myself at bay. And what ended up happening was I was restless because my stomach was trying to digest that lying down. I wasn't moving or anything. And when you do that, what happens is your stomach is taking up too much energy and time to try to process what's going on, try to process in your stomach to break it down, break it up, and put it through the bloodstream in your body, have it go through the large intestine, small intestine, all that good stuff. When you're just trying to sleep, right? And you want to be able to, in a decently fasted state, like eating 3 to 4 hours, or I'd say 2 to 3 before bedtime, so that you're able to have some good restful sleep, some good REM sleep, as they like to call it. And so for yesterday in this check-in, what I did was I ate about 2 hours before I went to bed officially. I'll probably go to bed around 9:30, 10 on the usual, and I had oatmeal and a protein shake beforehand around 7:30. Now, what was different about yesterday is that I did plan on going out and doing some Uber Eats stuff for a prolonged period of time, so I broke up the meal into like a more compressed window, but it was less of a OMAD. It was more of like a 4-hour eating window. So I broke my fast at 3 and ate again at 7. And what I ate was uh, lentil beans, eggs, and tuna with cheese, and then I had oatmeal and protein shake later on. So still a lot of my meals mostly balanced for the most part. Still making sure I get about 30 grams of protein in one meal, and I think the other one was about 60, if my estimates are right. I'm not tracking anything, okay? So I'm just pretty much guessing as I go along with it. And some other notes I had: strong hunger pain around 10 to 11 a.m. Well, I think that one lasted for a long time from what I remember. It's probably the longest one I had. Another note I had: a bit weak during noon workout, lack of energy from food, and poor sleep from not before. So that's another consequence of poor sleep, is that you just feel it for the rest of the day. Even if you consume caffeine, and especially when you're trying to fast, you're going without any kind of energy from food, and so you're going about your your reserves. Basically, you're tapping into your reserves, and trying to work out. I couldn't do it in the morning. I was just like, nope, we're staying in bed for today. And then I decided to schedule some walks later throughout the day as well. I did walk in the morning, I believe, yeah, but I tried to do. I think I quit at my pull-ups. I was trying to shoot for 8, and I could only get in, I think, 5. And in my head, I was like psyching myself out. Okay, come on, man, let's do 8. Let's do 8. No, it wasn't happening. So, what do I do about hunger? How do you manage hunger without the GLP-1 or without some sort of appetite suppressant, some kind of pill that you're taking? So, what I find to be very useful is having a project. And what I'm doing is, or recurring projects to keep you distracted while you work, while you're doing things in your day. Okay, and my ultimate purpose right now is to go through all the books that I've not only amassed over on that bookshelf, but on my Kindle. Okay, and I have a website that I go to called Anna's Archive to get any kind of ebook that I want to for free. And so I have limitless amounts, literally, of information of things that I could read. But what I'm doing is I'm reading while I work, and luckily I have a job where I can do that, like either through audio means or through just doing a task and then read a little bit, do a task. It's a work from home hybrid job right now. It's been all work from home because of a snowstorm here in Lexington. In fact, I'm about to clock in here in a moment. But yeah, I've been working from home for about 2 weeks now, and I'm just sitting here thinking, man, I just keep eating and eating, and that's why I went on this OMAD sprint to lose the remainder of my body weight, because I think in the absence of consumption there needs to be something to consume, but it doesn't have to be food. It can be, like I said, it can be a book, it can be podcasts, audiobooks, or YouTube videos that you download. It can be anything to fill your time that is outside of your body telling you to eat is what's going to be really helpful. And the project that I have is, like I said, reading these books, but also giving taking notes on them and doing like little essays and doing little reflections on what I read so that I can better retain and get a better understanding of, the point of the author, even if it's fictional or if it's non-fictional, or really just trying to make the use out of just not having or not reading just to passively consume, but to actively consume. And I have this theory that if you practice actively consuming with food, that you are more intentional with your choices, you're more intentional with not overeating all the time. Because what ends up happening is, especially for me, for this whole winter, I've just gone back into grazing habits and just passively consuming. Just when my body tells me, or my mind or my emotions tell me, listen, Jordan, we're kind of bored right now, dude. We could kind of use something to pass the time with. Oh, let's go to the kitchen. Yeah, that's a good idea. And that's what ends up happening, right? And we fall into these routines of just continuously consuming and just having a good time, but you rack up the cost and your body racks up the cost over time. And, it's really good to pay attention to that awareness and to that foresight, and pay attention to those moments when you have that in your day, because we have an abundance of opportunity. If you got a job and if you're in America, like if you're not destitute and homeless or stricken by poverty, you have the abundance of options before you to consume. So I think trying to practice doing some active consumption, not just in what you read, what you do with your phone, scrolling or whatever, but active consumption with your choices, and just like really enjoying the meal in front of you. And in the times that I do eat my lentil and bean and tuna, egg, concoction, whatever. I know that sounds gross. That could sound gross to people, but it makes sense to me. I make it taste good. I put a lot of seasonings and fats and stuff in it to make it taste good. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had to say on here. Finding an intentional distraction, some kind of purpose to help you abate and get your mind off of hunger while you're going through a fasting period is really the name of the game here. And yes, you can try out different suppressants. You can try out different methods of things to consume, like black coffee and green tea that naturally suppress the appetite, all that good stuff. Yeah, I still drink coffee. I still drink teas, all that good stuff. It just helps me to distract, mostly. It just helps me by having something in my mouth to just have around there, you know what I'm saying? So that's really all I got for this one. Stay tuned for day 3 tomorrow. I'll be sure to take some notes today and some more insight on something to give you away, or some value to give away to you. Whatever. Okay, we'll just see how it goes.